How's it going, everybody? This is Steve. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight, I'm actually going to do give a recap of everything I purchased in November. This is actually I have 12 titles here. It's a pretty big month for me, but overall, I kind of stopped near the end of the month because I actually wanted to stop and actually watch the videos. For one thing, watch all the movies, and also because of the holidays, I decided not to go too crazy because buying Christmas gifts and that kind of stuff. But actually, these the first two titles here were ones. I'm actually doing a digital code giveaway for I'll link the video at the end of this, but there's actually the deadline for this contest is actually on Friday night at December 1st at 11:59 p.m. So I'm going to link that video, like I said, at the end of this one. But so this first one is probably the biggest movie that I saw this year anyway. For me, it would be the Best Picture, it's kind of selling out a lot of places, even online. But the movie is Oppenheimer. This is like a 3-hour epic. It's big time special effects. I noticed that I saw this movie actually 3 times in the theater, and I think some of the scenes in this, I think especially earlier on, really translated extremely well on the big screen, and I don't think they translate as well on physical media. But overall, I think the movie's still really great. It's just overall, Robert Downey Jr. and Cillian Murphy, I think, were really great in this movie, and they probably should get Oscar nominations. And also, Christopher Nolan should get an Oscar nomination. And I think it might win Best Picture, but obviously December, there's a lot of movies that show up late in the year that may overtake this one possibly. But so far, as far as what I've seen, this is my favorite. But like I said, make sure if you want the digital code, please sign up in that video and put in the comments that you're interested in buying, getting that. But the other movie that I had that I got earlier this month was Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. This is like I said, this is I think the second part might be out next year, 2024. But I like this movie a lot. Some people I've heard kind of comment on the villain in the movie, and I guess there's like several villains in the movie, but some people kind of have criticized it based on what the who the antagonist is and who actually is the villain in the movie. But overall, I think it's pretty good. I like probably Fallout and Ghost Protocol more than this one, but obviously the end of the story will be in the part 2, so we don't know how it's going to end, but exactly. But I enjoyed this movie a lot, though. I thought the action was really great in it. I thought the movie maybe have been slightly too long, I think, but we'll see what happens in part 2. Hopefully it has a good conclusion. But it's like I said, this one's going to have a digital code giveaway as well. This is a 4K only, no Blu-ray in this. I think they're a lot of times now they're selling Blu-ray only and 4K. They're kind of separating them a lot of times. So a lot of you may know actually Barnes & Noble is running their 50% off Criterion sale through December 4th. And that's you can get that. You can go through the actual store, or you can get it on BarnesandNoble.com. Or you can also go on Amazon. It's a big time sale. These movies are like $40 for Blu-rays, but if you get a half off, you get it for $20. So it's definitely worth checking that out. There's something for everyone in this collection. You can get tons of different movies, but I actually did pick up 9 titles from Barnes & Noble. The first one here is actually from Martin Scorsese. It's the most recent one I purchased, but it's a Mean Streets. This is released in 1973. So, Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel, really great in this movie. This is the 4K Blu-ray combo. Like I said, I enjoyed this a lot. This is one of the really early Martin Scorsese movies. Probably, I don't know, maybe his 3rd or 4th movie possibly, but it shows New York at that time period. It's great to see New York and different cities, from 50 years ago. See how things have changed quite a bit since then. But yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. I watched everything on it. The commentary. The commentary is they have like a selected track commentary where it's like broken down to like an hour and 17 minutes. And I think it's just like what was on the Blu-ray. Only like parts of the Blu-ray would just kind of go silent, where nobody would talk. It's Martin Scorsese and Amy Robinson. And she became like one of his producers on After Hours, and I think she basically got acting sometime in the '80s, and just became a producer. She also did Chilly Scenes of Winter, did one of the producers in that movie. So yeah, I enjoy this one quite a bit. I'm glad I upgraded it to 4K. So yeah, great movie. Next one here, I try to mix these up here, but basically I have nine Barnes and Noble purchases, and one was used. The last one I have in this was used, but this is another one. The movie is The Others. Nicole Kidman. It's an all English movie, but the director is like, I think he's from Spain or somewhere. It's really strange. I've never seen this before, where the movie's in English, but the commentary is in Spanish, and a lot of the special features are in Spanish as well. It's really odd. You think they would have gotten like a film historian and maybe the director, because the director actually does speak some English, because there's one of the featurettes in the movie where he's talking to the cast. It's an all English speaking cast, or mostly, and he's speaking to them in English. So I know he at least knows some English, and you think if he had like a collaborator that, an English speaker, that he can kind of jump in and say some things in English. He could have done that, but instead they put it in Spanish. So, and basically the subtitles are all in Spanish, because it's basically subtitling what the director's saying. So you can't follow the movie, with the English subtitles with the commentary. So I thought it was really odd choice to do that. But I still really like this movie. I saw it in the theater in 2001. So I enjoy the story quite a bit. So I'm glad I own it, but just kind of disappointed with some of the special features on it. So next one here was one from the great Denzel Washington. This is one I had never seen before. It's a Devil in a Blue Dress. I always think of the song title, Devil with a Blue Dress. This one, like I said, I'd never seen it before. Tom Sizemore's in it. The late Tom Sizemore. I really enjoyed this. Don Cheadle's in it. I thought he was really great in this movie. And like I said, this had been on my list for quite a while. The next one here was another big title that just was released earlier this month, and it's actually came back to the collection. It was in a box set before, but now you can buy it on 4K and Blu-ray. But it's The Last Picture Show. This is it's Jeff Bridges, and it's got great cast. It actually has the sequel to this movie, which is Texasville, which I was maybe a little bit disappointed with that movie. I didn't think it was bad. It brought back all the cast from the original The Last Picture Show, but I thought just kind of disappointed that the original movie was in black and white and had that classic kind of look. I think it's supposed to be in the 50s, but then Texasville is like in the early, I think it's supposed to be in the 80s, and it's in color, and it had a completely different vibe. They're trying to go for a comic element in the movie, but Peter Bogdanovich obviously directed both of these movies, and he said it's supposed to be like a comedy, but it kind of came off as being more of a drama. And they have the theatrical version, which is I think a little over 2 hours, and then they have the director's cut, which is like 2 hours and 30 minutes of Texasville, and I can't imagine. I haven't watched the director's cut yet, but I can't imagine it would be. I don't know if it makes the movie that much better to have it longer like that. He says it brought back more of the humor in the movie that was kind of. I think the studio kind of forced him to cut a lot of stuff out. He just didn't like the way it kind of turned out. But I still haven't watched. I've seen The Last Picture Show. I've seen it before, but I haven't watched it on this yet. This is that's the only movie out of my entire collection of these new titles that I have. That's the only one I haven't watched yet. So that one's next. But yeah, I enjoy The Last Picture Show quite a bit. And Texasville was a nice bonus. I'm glad that the Criterion didn't release that and make us purchase that movie by itself, because it's a nice bonus to be on this included with this one. But I'm glad I didn't have to buy it by itself. So, but next title here was one that I really enjoyed. This is one that my parents had quoted for years, and I didn't realize where all the all these quotes, movie quotes had come from. But I really like this. It's The In-Laws. It's Peter Falk. I love the cast in it. I love the humor in it. It's Alan Arkin. He's this guy here, Alan Arkin. He's both of them have passed away now. Obviously, Peter Falk. A lot of people know him from Columbo. If you watch Cinema Dave Media, he talks about Columbo all the time. He loves that show, and Peter Falk is that character. But I really enjoyed this movie. It's a comedy, pure comedy, pretty much. It's kind of maybe a little bit of a mystery in some ways. But yeah, it was 1979, so I enjoy this a lot. I'm glad I finally saw it. Like I said, the first time, blind buy, and I'm really glad I purchased this one. Next one here is from Guillermo del Toro. I actually bought two movies from him in the collection here, but this one is Kronos. This is love the cover to it. Kronos. This one's actually surprisingly is in like partially in English and partially in Spanish, because it has Ron Perlman. He's an American actor, obviously from Beauty and the Beast, and he played Hellboy. And he played Blade 2. He's worked with Del Toro 4 times now, and but this is like the first time, and it makes it, for me, it made it a little more enjoyable that it's in at least half of it's in English, and the dialogue in Spanish is it's not too big on dialogue, so basically it's easy to get through, and watching subtitles, it's really very low budget, kind of like horror thriller kind of movie. But yeah, I enjoyed Kronos quite a bit. Next one is another one I had not seen since the late 80s, but it's La Bamba. I enjoy this one too. It's Lou Diamond Phillips. It's got actually the villain from Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1 is actually in this. And I can't even pronounce it. Morales is his last name, but he's actually this guy. He's actually the villain in Mission Impossible. I knew I had seen that guy before. It had been years since I had seen him in really anything. But yeah, I enjoyed La Bamba. Like I said, I had seen this one, but it had not been since like the late 80s. So yeah, really enjoyed that one. This next one is one that Tim Talks Talkies had actually recommended to me, and I'm glad I finally bought it. It's Summertime. This is directed by David Lean, the guy that did Lawrence of Arabia. It was one of his big movies. I think he did the River Kwai. I think he did that one with Alec Guinness. Obi-Wan Kenobi, basically. But this is starring Katharine Hepburn. From 1955, she goes to Italy, and I really like this one. I'd recommend people check this out. I need to really get more of movies from the 50s and 40s, and I do have quite a few already, but I need to get more of those, because there's quite a few that I really like from that era, classic Hollywood era. So yeah, I enjoy this one. Next one, actually there's 2 left. Next one here is another one from Del Toro, one I actually just watched last night, and I enjoy this one quite a bit. It's The Devil's Backbone. This one is this one's actually all in Spanish, and actually has the guy that Federico Lupi, I believe, or Lupe, the guy that's actually in Kronos, one of the main characters in Kronos. But this one, like I said, this one's in Spanish, but I actually maybe enjoyed this one a little bit more than Kronos. It's an interesting story, and it's pretty easy to follow. It's not heavy on dialogue, and it's Del Toro being what he does. He's a great storyteller, and another one with a kind of lower budget, but he had actually a budget for some CGI that he used in the movie. But yeah, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. And the last one here is actually one I actually bought from Half Price Books back in, I think, early November. It's one I made like a trade-in. I sold a few things, got like a $3 trade slip, and I applied it towards this. Is why I didn't buy it at Barnes & Noble, because I could get it a little bit cheaper used, and it was in perfect condition. But it's the original Godzilla. Obviously, I someone in the comments when I did I think my first video, I mentioned the big box set. It's like $113 right now, and it's got like eight Godzilla films included with it. And the guy one of the viewers said he didn't realize that they had that box set, and he actually went and bought it. So, and he took advantage of the 50% off sale. So that's the kind of stuff you can go to Barnes & Noble and just flip through all the different titles, and maybe find something that you love in there. Just they have a lot of common titles, and a lot of obscure art house titles, and a lot of foreign language titles. So you can find something, you can find anything in there that's something that you'll really like, and get it for a good price with great special features on them. and they give it what they call a Criterion treatment, so you can get extra special features and get great picture quality, Blu-ray, 4K. Sometimes I sell DVD as well. Some locations sell that too, that format as well. But yeah, I enjoy this one quite a bit. When I saw this on the shelf and had that trade slip offer, I thought this one, it had been on my list for a long time, and I decided to finally get it. So I'm glad I did. So, but that's all 12 titles I got for November. Please leave in the comments. Let me know if you have any of these titles, or maybe any of these titles that gave you any ideas that you might want to pick up at the Barnes & Noble sale. Like I said, it runs through Monday, so it's a great time to take advantage of that. And obviously, like I said, Amazon matches those prices as well. So great time to just get into the Criterion collection and maybe start your collection now, or add on to what you have already. But that's all I have. Please put a like on the video. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great night. Thank you. Bye.